Hello, everyone. How are you, people? I am very glad to be here with you in this theme therapy in classroom. So, we are going talking about therapy in classroom. Oh, sorry, maybe not all of you know myself. My name is Luciara Avelino, and I am. Pode passar outra. Okay. I work with these psychological aspects of the human being with the school of Norberto Kepi for more than 35 years. My name is Luciara Avelino, and I work with this society now as a psychoanalyst, and I will talk today about the lecture will be based on two books: this Origin of Infirmities and Therapy in Classroom. I wrote this book, Therapy in Classroom, to help teachers to understand more about the therapy in classroom, because in classroom, in education, we have a lots of emotions, a lots of problems, and normally they are very difficult to deal with. So I will be today with you talking about that. And also we are going to see this book as well. This book, Origin of Infirmities, Dr. Kepi's book. Okay, so let's start. I have a question for you. Is it difficult to control your emotions? I would like to have some contact with you by chat. If you can write it down, chat. Tell me, please, is it difficult to control your emotions? Do we have anyone that has no difficulties to deal with emotions? I'd like to know. If you have these difficulties, please let me know. What kind of difficulties do you have? Do you have difficulties to deal with your students? Do you have difficulties to deal with your kids? Now, in this quarantine, a lots of people, they are teaching kids at home. Do you have problems with that? So, do you control very well all the emotions? Do you deal very well with all of this? So let's talk about this. If you have difficulties, if you don't control, I have a question. Why? Why not? If you have these difficulties, normally we deal with problems in a physical and rational way. You do this, I do that. I do like this and you do like that. So in an intellectual level. But we have a very, very big difficulty in working in the psychological level. So let me show you this. We have to consider the importance of our psychological life. Okay, people? The importance of this psychological life. Normally we don't pay attention so much to that. And our psychological life, it will determine how we deal with our emotions. For example, if I have a problem and I am like that animal that put the head under the earth, so if I don't care about this, if I have a problem and I pull the carpet and put the darkness under the carpet, am I like this? So I am a person that I don't give importance to my psychological life. So, in this sense, we have to consider this, the iceberg, okay? People, we know very well Freud's work, he talked about that. These problems that we have under the water, this is what he called the unconscious. So, and this top part is the conscious part. So, in this sense, what would be in this covered part that we don't see? So, Dr. Kapp, in this book, Origin of Illness, he talks about a problem called idealization. So, what is this? What is the idealization? It is a problem that we build up a world, and we want to live there. So, what is this? Please, let's talk like this. What irritates you? Would you like to write it down, please? Write it down. What irritates you? Traffic or anything. Please, write it down for me. And let's analyze this. Okay, so I'm seeing here your answers. I don't control, I eat more candies, Alessandra. Okay. Good morning, Helena. So, yeah, very difficult to control, yes. Flavia, good morning. Good morning, Julia. Okay, Julia, hello. So, people, let's see. Write it down, please. What irritates you? So, I'm not comfortable in a disease, in a hospital, Lilia. Okay. Okay, family manias. Okay, Juliana. So, what else, people? What irritates you? Let's write it down. I'm write it down here. So, family manias, okay? Okay, what else? Obvious question, and ignorant comments, okay? Ignorant comments and obvious question, okay? What else, people? What else irritates you? Write it down. Not comfortable in a disease in the hospital, okay? Let's see. Okay. Narelli. Hello, Narelli. When people don't listen, don't consider my thoughts. Okay. People don't listen. Teresa, I don't perceive. Michael. Oh, Michael. Hello. Quarantine irritates you. Okay. What else? Okay. Let's, while you write arrogance, injustice, and injustice. Okay. Let's, vai anotando para mim o resto. This. Arrogância, alienation. Okay. Okay. So people, normally we talking about idealization that Dr. Kapp explains here in this book. It's like this. For example, one thing that irritates people a lot is traffic. Let's take this first example. Like this. I plan to go to the school to my house. Normally, for example, I finish the lecture at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and I take 20 minutes to go home. Imagine that the situation is in São Paulo, and in a regular time, not in a quarantine. So I take 20 minutes to get home. So, okay, I plan, I set up the thing like this. In 20 minutes after the lecture, I will be home. But people, what happens is like this. São Paulo has a lot of traffic. So when I enter in my car and I see I have a traffic and I will not be at home in 20 minutes. So I get irritated, I get nervous, okay? But I know that São Paulo has traffic. But I am irritated not because of the traffic, but I am irritated because of my plans didn't work. Do you understand? So, we are not irritated by the problem, but because I did many plans before and these plans didn't work. For example, let's take an example of arrogance. Someone said arrogance and injustice, right? Is it the same person? Foi a mesma pessoa que falou arrogance and injustice? Okay, so Flavia said injustice. So let's talk about this, Flavia. Flavia, are you really irritated with people that are arrogant, or in your plans you think, is it very good to have humble people? It would be fantastic to have everybody very humble. Seria incrível ter todo mundo só humildes e bacanas. But is it like this? É assim que a realidade é? Is the reality like this exactly? No. So, a Cíntia falou da arrogance, né? Então, Cíntia, what irritates you, it's not exactly the arrogance of people, but you want people without arrogance. So you want something impossible. So you are not dealing with reality. Okay? So, vamos voltar a Flávia. Flávia said about injustice. Okay, Flavia, so isn't it good to have only very fair people? I'm dealing only with good and fair people. It's perfect, right? But is the reality like this? So what irritates you, it's not the injustice, but the way you want the reality to be. And it's not exactly what it is. Okay? Of course, injustice, corruption, and lots of things. We have to fight for these things to be correct in society. But if you are very irritated and you wanted to kill these people, if you wanted to put all these people in an electric chair, if you wanted to... It shows that it's not only that. We have other problems in our psychological life, in our iceberg. Okay? Let's take the example of ignorant comments and obvious question. Quem falou isso? Who said that? Okay? Obvious comments. Aqui. Foi a Jéssica. Jéssica, obvious question. So, it irritates you. It's not exactly this, but you, Jessica, want people with very good questions, people very intelligent talking to you. Is it possible? So you are not dealing with reality. You are dealing with reality with problems. But you wanted to see the reality perfect. So you are idealizing the reality. Okay? And this, of course, irritates you a lot. To see that your idealization doesn't work. Of course, right? Okay. Quarantine. Michael, you said about quarantine. So, quarantine, of course, irritates a lot. We cannot go out. We cannot circulate. Okay, but it's our reality nowadays, right? So, if you don't idealize, the quarantine is not that bad. But if you idealize, the quarantine is unbearable. You wanted to destroy people. You don't want. You are nervous. You are okay. So this quarantine is showing a lot of things about yourself, Michael. Do you understand that? Okay. Okay, people. Do you get that? So all this idealization is in this part of the iceberg that we don't perceive. We don't perceive very well. Okay? So Dr. Cap is going to say here in the Liberation book, the act of alienation is a struggle against seeing one's inner self. O ato de alienar é uma luta contra a visão do nosso próprio interior. So, I am alienated, I am idealizing the world, I am in this world like this. So, I don't see myself either. Okay? Do you have any questions? Okay, Sergio, you are talking about how to deal with noisy neighbor during this difficult time. Okay, so Sergio, this is isn't it very good to have silent and perfect neighbors? It would be a perfect world. But in reality, is it like this? So, you will be more and less irritated if you idealize more or less. So pay attention on that. You are going to find many things on that. I agree with Sergio. Erica is saying, my neighbor has 5 young grandchildren. They cry and yell all day long. Okay, Erica. Sometimes it's really unbearable. I'm not saying that you have to see reality. No, but if you don't idealize so much, you deal better with reality. You will find new ways to deal with reality. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Lilia, I'm not secure how to deal with depressive friends. Okay. Okay, Jessica. Thank you. You understood that. Okay, very nice. Okay, yes, Lilia. To deal with depressive friends. Maybe if you idealize your friends, if you want just perfect friends, and this is not, the reality that you have. So if you accept that, so you are going to be more in contact with reality. So you'll be more ideas, how can I solve this problem? But if you are irritated, if you are angry, you forget it. You take all the possibilities that you have to deal with the problem, to solve the problem. Okay? Good. Let's see. So this example. I want to work, but it's very difficult to wake up. So this is another thing that we have in our, internal part here in the iceberg. The top part is saying like this: I want to work. I like my work. But the down part is your unconscious. And this down part, you don't see you cannot get out of this. I wanted to work, but it's very difficult to wake up. So, conscious part, I wanted to work. Unconscious, it's very difficult to wake up. So, people, which situation is stronger? Our unconscious part normally is stronger. And normally a lot of people, they don't wake up and they lose their jobs because of this. Because in reality, the person doesn't want to work. In reality, deep inside, the person wants to sleep and the person doesn't want to wake up. I'm saying this. I know it's difficult to wake up in the morning, especially when it's cold now. But I'm telling you this, that if your unconscious is stronger than your conscious part, you can lose your job, you can lose your career, you can lose many things because the unconscious can control yourself. Okay, let's see the other one. I need to attend an important lecture, but I can't control myself and I sleep. Imagine, people, you go to an important lecture, okay, important for your career, for your life, and you are so sleepy that you cannot control yourself and you fall to sleep. So, what does it show? It shows that your conscious part says, no, it's important lecture for me. No, I will attend this lecture, you to be okay. But your unconscious part says, oh my God, and goes and goes and goes and goes. So your unconscious part take control of yourself and you don't attend an important lecture that you have to attend. Okay? Good. Let's go further. So, what happens to me? I can't control small things in my daily life. So, it shows like this. Small things, even thoughts, some thoughts, I cannot control. So, what is that? It shows exactly that my unconscious part dominates myself. Okay? So we have to pay attention on that. That if you are irritated, if you are, angry all the time, maybe you are controlled by your unconscious part. So let's see another example. You don't want to fight, okay? Especially with people in your family. You don't want to fight. But when you get in front of your mother or your father or anyone, you fight. So you can ask yourself, well, but I don't want to fight, but I fight. So, what is this? I don't know myself. I cannot control myself. What does it show? it shows that my pathological part is controlling myself, okay? I am dominated by my emotions. I don't have control of my emotional part, okay? So when we are dominated by our emotions, the word says dominated. So if you are dominated, you don't have any control, and then you are going to have problems. So, okay? Good. So, if you are dominated by your emotions, how can you control other people's emotion? That's a good question, right? So, if I cannot control my emotions, how can I control other people's emotion? Isn't it a good question? If I cannot control myself, it's impossible to control other people's emotion. And we are going to fight. We are going to fight, okay? So, the rule is like this. I have to control myself to control other people's emotion. And it's not actually control, but is to conscientize. If I conscientize, I can deal with the problem. Okay, so people, let's work with an example. Let's see a boy like this. You are going to see in some seconds. You are going to see this boy. He is in a school, but imagine it is your child or a child from your family, okay? That is very lazy. So, if you are a teacher or a mother, a father, how can we deal with this situation? Isn't it a good question? How do you deal, people, with this situation? So, how can you deal with this situation? It's quite difficult, right? And if you get very irritated with the boy like this, what does it show? We, in the previous thought, it's if I idealize, especially children, parents, they idealize very much the children. Imagine like this. Oh, it would be very good for all the kids to study, to be very alert, to be very nice. It would be very nice, this situation. But it is like this? The reality? The reality is more like this picture. But how can we deal, for example, with another situation? When the student, for example, makes fun of you, makes fun of your class, and challenges you, how can we deal with that? This shows a lot of problems in classroom. If you are a teacher, you know that we have this, it happens a lot. They wanted to destroy your class. But how can you deal with this? How can you deal with difficult students? Because, listen, to deal with good students, to be a teacher of good students, to be a mother or a father with good kids, it doesn't show your expertise. Your expertise will be how to deal with difficult students. And when, for example, the student doesn't stop talking to the colleague beside. All the time talking, and not paying attention on your class. So how do you deal with that? This is an emotional thing, but this will show how do you deal with the situation? How can you control your emotions? Okay? What would you do with the students like this? Do you speak firmly with the students? Do you fight with the students? Do you tell him to sit up correctly and pay attention? Or you send this kid straight to the principal? Principal é a diretora da escola, né? O diretor. What do you do in this situation? When the student starts with the problem, send immediately to the principal. Is it what you do like this? Okay. So normally people, the previous boy that was sleeping on the table, this boy is rejecting everything in his life. He doesn't want anything. Okay? So if you are a kind of person that do the same thing, so it will be very difficult for you to relate this to solve this problem. So, yeah, Juliana is saying that yes, perfectly makes sense. Marjolaine, this requires discipline, waking up. Yes, that's right. If discipline you will have, Marjolaine, you are going to have discipline if you have more conscious about your unconscious. And then you have discipline. Okay. Yeah. Dialogue is always important, Lilia. Yes, very, always important. That's right. Yeah. Okay, people. So this boy is rejecting everything in his life. And if you don't reject so much your life, so when you see this rejection, you deal better with the situation. So the question is more linked to us, to our interior life. So here we have this, I put this picture with a person looking to himself. If you don't have this rejection in your own life, you can deal with the student's problem, okay? Because you see yourself. When you see yourself, you deal better to the situation, okay? So, people, let's listen to a radio program that Dr. Cappy is going to talk about this. What I'm telling you until now is the absolutely necessity to interiorize, to see that what is happening outside. No. What is happening outside is a reflection of our interior life. So we need to interiorize, to have contact with our internal life. Okay? And Dr. Cap, in 5 minutes, he's going to explain to you. I'm going to put it in Portuguese first, and then I'm going to translate. Okay? So, in 5 minutes, he will explain what is interiorization. Okay? So, let's listen to that, and after that, we are going to talk. Okay? Let's listen.
O que quer dizer isso, né, Cláudia? Interiorização. É a pessoa entrar em contato
Can you hear?
com tudo o que ela tem no interior dele, principalmente os sentimentos, o raciocínio, né? E a estética também. Porque tudo que a pessoa aprende no mundo exterior de certo
I hope you are here.
tem que estar de acordo com o que ela tem de certo no interior dela. Então, se ela, por exemplo, tem que aprender o que é certo e o que é errado, ela vai comparar o que no mundo tem de certo e de errado no que ela tem no interior dela de certo ou de errado. Então, o que é isso, né? Vamos dizer, o contato que o indivíduo tem consigo próprio. Então, a gente pode dizer que o contrário de interiorização é a exteriorização. O que é o indivíduo exteriorizado? É o indivíduo que se acha assim vítima do mundo exterior. E provavelmente, né, toda patologia, principalmente a psicose, que é uma patologia mais grave, advém por causa disso, do ser humano achar que ele é vítima. Então, quando, por exemplo, muitos psicólogos e mesmo psicanalistas, né, acham que o ser humano ele é doente porque ele teve uma orientação na família, ou então na escola, uma orientação errada e que ele é vítima dessa orientação, então isso é um grande engano, porque o que acontece não é que o problema que existe fora no mundo, né, seja nas leis, seja na política, seja na ciência mesmo, é que isso vai tornar a pessoa problemática. O que acontece é o seguinte, é que o problema que torna a pessoa doente é a confusão que ele cria com o que ele vê no mundo exterior. Se no mundo exterior ele souber lidar com as dificuldades que existem, é porque ele está de acordo com o que é certo no interior dele. E a gente chama isso de virtude, né? De ética. Então, nenhum problema leva o indivíduo à doença ou à destruição. É sempre o que ele pensa, o que ele faz, de certo ou de errado, é que leva ele a não saber como viver no mundo e com os problemas que tem no mundo, ou então não saber viver com as virtudes que ele tem no próprio interior. Então a pessoa vive mais do que ela tem dentro dela, do que o que ela aprende no mundo exterior. Então, se é um indivíduo, vamos dizer, que tem boa intenção, que as boas intenções dominam a personalidade dele, ele vai conseguir trabalhar, né, com as intenções más das outras pessoas, com as leis errôneas. Então, eu gostaria de avisar às pessoas que nos ouvem que é muito importante ver que nenhum problema do mundo poderia tornar a pessoa, vamos dizer, neurótica ou psicótica ou doente orgânica. Que toda doença que a pessoa tem, ela que cria no interior dela, quando ela não sabe lidar com as coisas externas.
Okay, people? So, is that okay? I think it finished, right? I cannot hear from here. Okay, so Dr. Cap, did you understand what he said? He said, when we look at the world, and if I am a good person, and I have many good things inside of myself, and I look at the world, I can see many beautiful things in the world because it is in identification with myself. If I have bad things inside of me, I look at the world and I see bad things. So, my life depends on how much good things I have inside of me. The controlling of my emotions, my life, my affection, my relation with people, all this is linked to that. How can I deal with the outside things and inside things? And Dr. Cap name this the interiorized person. The interiorized person is the person that can see, the person has a lot of good things, and so the person accept, the person has patience, the person is see the problems outside, but the person has affection, so the person can deal with the problems. The person that is exteriorized, this person thinks normally that the problem comes from outside. And in general, these people, they think they are victim of the world, victim of bad people, victim of the traffic, victim of ignorance of people. Do you understand? The person is exteriorized. And also, when the person thinks also that the person is victim of a wrong orientation, when victim of everything that happened in the world. And so if a person deals with the external problems, it means that the person can deal with internal difficulties. So Dr. Cap named this virtue. A virtuous person is the person that can deal with that. Okay? So, in this sense, is absolutely important to have affection. If you have affection in your internal life, if you have affection, it's possible to deal with other people's problem, okay? Because you can look at the world if you have affection, and you can interiorize more. So if you are a teacher, if you are a mother, if you are a father, and you cannot deal with difficult situations, you can consider yourself a person that has not enough affection. Okay, you have to deal with that. It's very important. It's really important for you to perceive that. Okay. The interiorized person has calm and knows how to observe well and accept the things that appear in life as they come. Exactly, Marjorie. That's the way to see if you are an interiorized person. Is like this. You look at the world and you see, wow, beautiful things. First of all, you see beautiful things. And if you see only obscure things, bad things in the world, it's like this. You don't have enough affection inside to interiorize, to see the bad things outside and good things outside as well. Okay? So this is something that we need to pay attention, this relation. Okay, people, that's what Dr. Cappy says here. To be free is to be good. So you are going to have this feeling of liberty, this feeling uh, of liberty of your emotions. You are free to feel love. You are free to feel good things. To be free, you have to be good. To have good things inside of you. So this way you are going to consider yourself as a free person, okay? Otherwise, you are a slave of your emotions, okay? And you are going to have a very difficult life. So people, to finish this lecture, I would like you to, if you like it, if you wanted to understand more, we are going to prepare, we have special courses for teachers, we have special courses for parents, okay? You have a special course for anyone that wants to know more about this, our internal life. We are preparing for next semester a course called PFP, is a Programa de Formação de Professores, a program to form teachers in this orientation. And we are going to enable teachers to work with difficult problems in education, and also to form teachers. For example, you don't have license to teach, or you have license to teach only one discipline and you want another. This program will help you. Or if you have, for example, you have a technical course and you don't have the habilitation to teach, so this course will teach you. Okay? So please enter in our site and you are going to know more about this. And another interesting course is going to be, yes, people, because if you don't deal with all these problems, you are destroying your career, right? So we have another special course that is management of conflicts that we are going to open. Here in Minas Gerais, we are going to open in June, and in São Paulo it's opened already. So May 3rd, 30, we are going to have a master class at 11 o'clock. Please enter and check it out. It's free, this class, to show you how it will be this course. So we have many opportunities for you to understand more about this beautiful science, Dr. Kepi science. If we understand more about this, people, we can save lots of good things in our lives. We can feel happy, we can feel many beautiful things in our lives if we understand more about this internal life. It's a way to be happier. It's a way to be happy. It's to understand more, to have more consciousness about ourselves. So that's the key. So we have the tools to help you. Okay? So people, thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed, and we see each other soon. Okay? Bye bye.